dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Amelia Lee. 130 years ago, Labor Day was made a federal holiday. The holiday gives workers around the nation a day off to reflect on the work they accomplished. A retired coal miner from Harlan County says being a part of a labor union changed his outlook on unity in the workforce.
It was a huge strike that really brought solidarity to not only the UMWA, but to the coal miners all over the country and other labor unions.
The pit stench strike lasted for nearly 2 years, with violence being taken against miners at times. Tens of millions of Americans are hitting the roads and airports today as the long Labor Day weekend comes to an end. Long lines and bumper-to-bumper traffic were expected, but bad weather and a labor strike are adding to the travel woes. CBS's Errol Barnett reports.
Stormy weather sweeping through Dallas today set off some of the worst airport delays nationwide as a surge of travelers head home from long weekend getaways. On the road to New York's LaGuardia Airport, leaving early was a winning play for tennis pro Mackenzie McDonald, returning to Orlando after playing in the U.S. Open. Labor Day and this weekend can be a busy time to travel. Are you worried about that?
Actually, it's been easier. Getting out of Manhattan was a lot easier this morning. I was actually very lucky. It was only a 20-minute car ride.
But there were some unlucky hotel guests Sunday when approximately 10,000 hotel workers walked off the job at 25 hotels across the country, including Marriott, Hyatt, and Hilton properties in 9 cities, stretching from Honolulu to Boston. Members of the Unite Here union, representing hospitality workers like housekeepers and front desk staff, are seeking higher wages and a reversal of pandemic-era job cuts.
I won't have to work 2 jobs. I won't have to get 3 hours of sleep. So that's how important it is.
The union expects the strike to last up to 3 days, hitting when the busy summer travel season comes to an end. Now, Hyatt and Hilton say they look forward to continuing negotiations with the union. Marriott did not respond to CBS's request for comment. Meantime, here at LaGuardia Airport in New York City, there was a brief ground stoppage Monday evening due to a disabled aircraft on the runway. It's all been cleared up, but it will undoubtedly add to ongoing nationwide delays. Errol Barnett, CBS News, New York.
Union members and leaders gathered today in Lexington to celebrate the deeper meaning behind Labor Day. The annual Bluegrass Central Labor Council picnic was held in Masterston Station today. They hosted unions and union members' families from across central Kentucky. One member tells us he hopes the picnic shows younger people the opportunities afforded by trade schools and different professions.
Work for our members and to see folks out here with their families taking a break, enjoying the music, the food, and allowing us to work for them today. And it's just very gratifying. I've done this for several years and I love it.
Beasley says they are also spending today supporting the communications workers of America as AT&T workers head into week 3 of their strike. The Kentucky Flea Market's 52nd annual Labor Day Spectacular wrapped up today. The 4-day event featured more than 800 booths for shoppers to explore in the west wing of the Kentucky Expo Center. Anything from antiques, toys, clothes, and more were sold. We talked to some shoppers about what kind of deals they scored.
Well, I collect old antique toys and stuff, and I've already bought some of them and carried them to the car. And the girls like going through the Amazon zoo back there.
Those Amazon bins had clothes and other household goods from Amazon. This Labor Day weekend marks a close to record-breaking summer travel season. TSA predicts 17 million passengers will pass through airports before Labor Day is even over. Travel experts say now is the time to book your next trip to save cash. Michael Yoshida shares the details.
With all the record travel days this year, including the millions who took to the skies this past weekend, experts say that airlines have been adding to their capacity to try and meet that demand. And if you know where to look, there are plenty of deals for you to try and take advantage of. A summer surge of flights could lead to a fun fall for air travelers looking to score a good deal on their next trip. Experts say airlines have added more flights, leading to price drops, which means there are lots of potential deals out there.
So whether you want to do Christmas holiday markets, skiing this winter in Europe, use those points and transfer to foreign frequent flyer programs. That's where the most value is these days.
Brian Kelly, founder of thepointsguy.com, says that's because over the last few years, most U.S. airlines programs have been increasing the miles needed for flights.
4 years ago, you could get 100,000 miles round trip to Europe. Now it's like 500,000. So my tip is use foreign frequent flyer programs because they have not devalued their programs as much.
So what if you don't have a program with a foreign airline? No problem, according to the Points Guy. Because most major U.S. credit card programs allow you to transfer your points to foreign partners. Not sure which foreign airline to transfer to? The Points Guy offers this tip. The website point.me.
You can put in what points you have. Amex, Chase, American, and it'll tell you transfer to Air Canada where it's only 60,000 points to book that Swiss flight I was talking about. So booking through United would be 88,000, only 60,000 if you leverage foreign frequent flyer programs. So that's the trick. And the Points Guy says that transferring those points to a foreign frequent flyer program can take a little getting used to, but that right now that's really your best bet for trying to get the most value out of all those points. Reporting in Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida.
Well, we are below normal in the temperature department. 83 is where we should be for this time of year, and some places stayed in the 70s. Matter of fact, we made it to 79 in Jackson. 77 was the high in Hazard. 80s towards London, as well as Somerset. Jacksboro made it to 81. Jonesville made it to 81. Prestonsburg made it to 80. Pikeville made it to 76. Wise barely got to 70, made it to exactly 70 degrees. Right now, we're seeing temperatures in the 50s and 60s. 59 Wise, 57 in Hazard, 58 in Manchester, 63 in London. Monticello, the warm spot across eastern Kentucky at 70 degrees, 1 degree warmer in Louisville. All is quiet on the satellite and radar composite. We are seeing clear skies out there, making for a beautiful evening at this hour. When you wake up in the morning, we'll see temperatures staying in the low to mid 50s. Again, a beautiful evening across eastern Kentucky with mostly clear skies. Now, if you thought today was pretty cool, even though we are below normal, 83 is where we should be, wait till you see the 7-day, because there's one day on the 7-day where we're barely going to see highs in the 70s. Some places may see highs in the upper 60s, and I'll tell you when coming up in a few minutes. Amelia.
Eric, thank you. World War II veterans are celebrating the end of the war, which took place 79 years ago today. Victory Day over Japan marks Japan's surrender to the U.S. back in 1945. Today, 4 World War II veterans were at Bowman Field in Louisville to be recognized for their service. To celebrate, a ceremony was held to honor the vets with a Jeep convoy around the airfield.
I'm old. I didn't realize I'd ever attain this age, but it's great. I've been blessed. Wonderful family, wonderful health, wonderful resources, wonderful friends. It's just unbelievable how well I've been blessed.
Another veteran at the ceremony says he's in a group with other World War II veterans from Kentucky. He says there's roughly 11 people in the club. Bell County mourns the loss of someone whose impact on the community is still being felt today. Former Bell County Judge Executive Jennifer Jones died on Sunday. Jones served as Judge Executive from 1998 until 2002. Current Judge Executive Albie Brock says Jones was a role model who people looked up to and whose presence will be greatly missed in Bell County.
The impact far-reaching, what many may even know. Some of the work that seeds that Jennifer planted in, the late 90s and early 2000, we're seeing fruit from today here in Bell County.
Jones also served as the director of Kentucky Highland Investment Group. September is Suicide Prevention Month. Healthcare specialists say one of the most important things you can do is spot the warning signs. Health leaders also say suicide is a significant health issue among adolescents. Dr. Katie Hopkins, a child psychologist with Norton's Children's, says that risk dramatically increases when teens have access to a firearm. In fact, she says 60% of all suicides are committed with a gun.
Reasons frequently cited by teens for attempting suicide include school stress, peer and family relationship problems, hopelessness, and then also importantly to consider alcohol intoxication increases suicide risk up to 90%.
Hopkins says there are several warning signs parents can look for. In some cases, a child may come out and say that they're having suicidal thoughts, while other cases are not as obvious. She says to also check their text messages and social media to see if they have written about suicide. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, we are tracking the weather with the National Weather Service. Hear what they have to say about meteorological fall.
And it's going to feel like fall as we go into the next 7 days. Details in a few minutes. Stay with us.